from the tracker table and group by page. So now we're grouping, so we're going to do some grouping and count out some individual pages. And again, this will show that that count star thing again. So actually run the query, store in $sign result, and now we're going to have an unknown number of probably multiple records that this select is going to return. So we need to go ahead and do a for, as we're going to need to loop through these results. So for $I, starting at 0 again, like in the guest book, and keep going until $I. Keep going while $I is less than, let's see, the number of rows. So MySQL num rows. Of course, that that gets its information from $sign result, and then finally $sign I plus plus. So go ahead and block that in real quick. Now, inside of here is where we're going to actually display lines showing what page, how many times that page has been viewed. So we need to find out. Let's see. We need to get a few results. So first, I'll get like what page we're on. So $page equals MySQL result. So basically grabbing the page field. So so tie it into $result. And then going through each time I gets incremented, grabbing the next record, and we'll be looking at page in this case. So we've got $page, $IP. Let's see, page number of views. So the IP equals. Let me just copy that first line. So store the IP in a variable. Again, getting from the IP field. And then we need to find the number of views. Now, this is going to group by page. So you're going to have just a list of each page name. You saw there was multiple pages in the database, but the results are just going to show one record per page. And if that page occurred multiple times, then count star will count how many times. So number of views has to equal that count star. Okay, so we should be ready to echo some of this information out. So echo. Let's see. So what page we're on. And let's see, concatenate, or we just go ahead and put $page. And the number of views. I might add that IP in just a second, but I just want to get this up and running so you can see how it works. So $views. So just echo out the page. Probably need to go ahead and throw a line return in there. Okay, so going through, selecting from the tracker table, grouping by page, but also counting in case there's multiple occurrences of a page. Then we're going to loop through all the results of this query and set up a few variables based on MySQL results, and then echo some of those results out. I might take a look at IP in just a minute, but let's go ahead and save this and see what it does. So refresh that, and let me straighten the page up just a little. It's a little bit hard to read now. So page, yeah, I didn't need a line return after the first one. That made it a little bit confusing.
Just a space in there.
So I put a space instead, maybe 2 spaces. Refresh that. So what page? Page1.php. Number of, let's see, page, number of views, the tracker script. And, okay, this looks a little confusing. That page views should have had another line return.
Yeah.
Like such. So, page views, what page? The guest book, number of views, 2. What page? Page 1. The number of views, and so on. Again, that tracker script is in there just because we actually ran the tracker script itself. So, this makes a little counter, and I kind of left IP out because it doesn't really apply here. And yeah, it doesn't. See, if you we're not doing any kind of counts on IP, so it wouldn't really be relevant. It would just show the first one that happened to find when it was doing the group. So again, you wouldn't even really need the $IP. I'll just comment that out, and I'll probably use it a little later. Let's see. Now we need to...
I guess we could kind of neaten things up real quick if you don't mind.
Okay.
Go ahead and bring back up the actual web page real quick.
Okay.
How about after unique IPs, we put a space there, and then we BR tag it twice to drop down before we say page views?
Yeah, put an extra line in here.
Yeah, at least two maybe. One will do the trick. And then after page views, after that, let's go ahead and take the word page out each time, since that's kind of grouped up under the title page views.
Gotcha. So let's just echo $page
I'm
instead.
just being picky.
That makes the page look better. It's a good thing to do. So under unique IPs, so you're saying after
unique IPs, yeah, double BR tag it.
And let's see.
Good enough. And then that's okay with the big space. Now, all right, so that's pretty good.
All right, now let's go ahead and add a little bit more functionality. Let's see individual people and how many times each IP has viewed the page.
And thinking about it, where we could probably put this is where it says 2 unique IPs.
Let's do that before
and then right underneath 2 unique IPs, put those 2 unique IPs.
And how many pages they've viewed.
And do you want to do how many pages they viewed right there and make their thing a link that goes?
Exactly, yes.
All right, now we're going to be getting interesting.
All right, so above this section, right after we listed what the unique IPs were, let's go ahead and we're going to be doing stuff very similar to this. We're going to be selecting some records, grouping on a certain field. So let's grab this to save time. Let's grab the entire, starting with the echo and all that the code we ran through. We'll copy that and then paste a copy of it right here. So again, this down here, this bottom page views was the one we had initially written. So let's go ahead and change this one. That's now going to display IPs and how many times each IP has viewed the page. We'll change that to, say, IP views. Maybe change that to something that makes more sense in a minute. But this time, key things we need to change. We now want to group by IP, so we can count the number of times each IP has viewed a page. And then we'll run through, and this time, let's see, page isn't really going to be all that relevant because, again, they could have viewed a single IP can view multiple pages. And the page that will display is just the first one it happened to hit when it was going through and grouping stuff. So we'll take page out. And this time, IP is very relevant. As a matter of fact, we can take IP out down here since we're not using it. So now IP is very relevant. We want to go ahead and grab that IP field. And again, the count star field. So we can see how many times this IP has, or how many pages this IP has viewed. So we'll do echo what IP we're on, and then views. Okay, we have views set up. So let's go ahead and save that out and see how that looks. 2 unique IPs. I guess we could take out an extra.
Yeah, now we can pull those up a little bit.
So let me grab extra new line tag out of this. And so again, we're not stressing any on HTML here.
This can be prettied up a whole bunch.
So we've got 2 unique IPs. What IP? How many times it's viewed? Another IP? How many pages it's seen? And then individual pages and how many times those have been looked at.
Now let's go ahead and make those two IPs a link, and we can click that link, and when we do, it'll take us to a new page that's going to show us
give a record of where all that certain IP went.
Yeah, and this time we'll end up ordering it by the date timestamp.
Right. So let's go, and this is actually, it's going to be a new script because it's going to do stuff very different. I mean, you could make this one reload itself with a certain amount of info, but then you're really loading down the script for especially the window we have to work in. So what I'm going to do is let's close out these page 1, 2, 3 since we know they're in place and working. Then I'll create a new script. Again, PHP tag like before, and let me grab the connection because we need to make a connection, same as last time. So make an actual connection. But now let's think about this for a second. Well, that's the end. Let me go ahead and make this